Okiya goes to court for cases he is going to lose and he knows. And when you ask to do anything with him, he doesn't want. Remember the ruling that went to the court to the Supreme Court. We were to file the petition, and because he was lead file, he was just taking us. On the end, he filed the case too late. The ruling was that this is filed too late. So, gentlemen, let's not rush. I don't want to go into talking about anybody because I'm a leader. I've just asked you, do proper due diligence before you jump. We make bad decisions in marriage, in job search, and the rest. We should not try to uproot Ruto, which is a very risky affair. It's a very risky and delicate affair, and replace him with someone we might complain. For me, it is not a time to say we are with the so and so or so and so. No. In fact, if that is the conversation that this is for Omtatah, some of us will never be attending. I believe it is a time to do what is called due diligence on emerging leaders. Let Okiya emerge. Let him sell his name. And if you can help him, help him. But let other people emerge, because you cannot win these things by gravitating around Okiya. Okiya cannot pull the strings that is needed to win the election in Kenya if it is like we are coalescing and gravitating around him. And history will judge you well by, if you look at the previous elections won, go to the first election one was Kibaki winning against Moi. Before, there were like 8 people wanting to run. Then they discovered they cannot run alone. And then they had to have very serious, very, very serious canvassing. And then they agreed that let Kibaki go. Remember again after that, the person who won the election was Ruto. And of course, Ruto and Uhuru, theirs was slightly different. But again, they were able to marshal just the narrative around saving their campus. So that also helped. But of course, Uhuru had contested before. He had got some assets. Ruto, of course, with Rift Valley, when he was campaigning for Raila, he took all the assets he got from Raila and give them to Uhuru. So it is not a time to say so and so. And let me insist the issue of due diligence. If some of us date a woman for 5 years before we marry them, someone cannot launch their campaign today, then you say, we are going with you. You cannot meet a woman in the bar and she's a wife. You have to see her also in church. Go with her to work. Take a trip with her. Do some things and see. In China, to become a leader in the Communist Party, they do review from nursery school. That's why Communist Party of China that rules China is more about meritocracy. They look at your nursery school report. They look at your primary school report, secondary school report. They look at literally everything just to ensure that everything is right. Even to get a bank loan from China, they check all that. They even check whether you ever beat your wife. They check whether you drink and drive. They literally try to check how you are a person. So, as of now, don't discourage anybody who wants to buy. Encourage them, but do proper due diligence around them. Second thing I want to talk about is that it is, as I said, it's time to do due diligence. The second thing, it is time to mobilize people around an ideology, which is around the transformation, the change Kenya needs. So that one will not have enemies. If you ask Kenyans, do you want to come together for change? No one will fight you. But if you say, do you want Fred Ogola to be a president? Some people don't like my nose, don't like my ears, don't like blah, blah, blah. So for now, it is a time to mobilize people around an ideology. Can we get the people now around an ideology? The third thing to do, it is time to build a team, a winning team. The leaders of those teams will come later. It is time. For example, if you go to Siaya and said, Siaya needs a different leadership, and you preach that message until 90% people buys, then it simply means Orengo is not the next governor. Then now the people you choose will actually can win Siaya. So for now, it is the time to build leadership. If you go to Jim Collins' book on Good to Great, they said get the right people in the bus first. Then the conductor, the driver will be picked afterwards. But if we rush by picking conductors and drivers, we shall get into a headwind where some people don't like our conductor, but they like the bus. Some people don't like the driver, but they like the bus. At last, there is no candidate that is always picked this early. If you pick a candidate this early, people have time, and again, some people take different stands, and difficult to mobilize them. But if Okiya Omtatah was part of the larger team, of which 8 or 6 or 10 people, one of them can be the driver, and one of them can be a conductor, others will take different positions, you might find that will be easier to go with. Then people realize they cannot ship away from the bus, but they have to stay in the bus because it's a winning bus. And therefore, the leader they pick, the driver will drive us to the destination. The last one, we need to answer the question, the people question. What is people asking? I go to television every day. Yesterday I was on TV 47. I end up with around 18 sound bites, which was amazing. Because it's rare that you have that. You only have 2 or 3, but yesterday were 18. They were just like, I don't know. Maybe yesterday there was something special about the discussion. But I can tell you, the people question cannot even be answered by the gamer thing where they are saying Akamba is joining gamer. That is not answering the people question. The people question cannot be answered by the broad-based government. It has never answered it. Even the Kondele tour of Ruto talking to these people, those people, that cannot be answered. Even I agree with the last speaker. The people question cannot be answered by the 200 Bob. No. Even in Malindi, no. So the people question for me is that the issue is economic. If you don't address the economic issue, is neither here nor there. The second question is accountability. Of course, there's integrity inside it. And of course, the issue of competence, meritocracy. These are issues which will just separate this narrative from the rest. And I heard people saying, oh, money and election, the rich and the poor. And there's a narrative I've been selling. Actually, it was there on TV 47. Maybe Redemptor, I can share with you the link, then you can maybe allow these people to check at the end. I said that to solve the political issue and money, don't call these people political capitalists because, or even if call them political imperialists, those are good terms. Because they are rich, maybe because they have made money through politics, but that is not the way. We are now saying that Kenya has got this dichotomy. People are willing to say, oh, rich, poor, or this tribe or that. No. Opposition and the government, no. Our narrative should be simple. That we have people wale ambao wanatuibia. And I'm telling you, this narrative is resonating very well with people. Wale ambao wanatuibia. These people have stolen from us. They are not political imperial. They are not capitalists. They are thieves. These are thieves wametuibia. So kuna wale ambao wanaotuibia na sisi ambao tunaoibiwa. Tukikataa kuibiwa, wanaotudanganya. Tukikataa kudanganywa, wanaotuua. So these people who are stealing from us, lying to us, and killing us, they are minority. They are very few. They're the ones who have stolen the 7.2 trillion shillings. And they have done nothing with it. They are the Adani people. They are the Kentraco people. They are the Shah, they are the chief. They are not many. In fact, the companies are just 4. And you can name who are the shareholders. There are very few people. Why don't we say countries divided into 2? Those stealing from us, those killing us, those cheating us. They are very few. The majority are the people who are being stolen from. They are being cheated. And they are being killed when they complain, and that's why abduction, the arrest is high, because when they complain about these 3 evil, they're being killed, they're being abducted, they're being arrested, they disappear, they are losing jobs, they are being done for everything else. Because I tell people, Kenya is not poor. Our budget is 4.2 trillion. Kenyans are hardworking, they're industrious, they're intelligent, they are talented, they are gifted. But what they are lacking is that they are being stolen from. There is no business you can begin and thrive. If I give you 2 million shillings, there's no business you can start that can give you 50,000 shillings net profit, which means we have very many poor millionaires. If you have a capital of 2 million shillings, of course you are a millionaire. How can a millionaire not be able to generate 50,000 a month? It shows it's a country not worth living in. And I'm sure some of you have known, I've even written a book called Solomonic Economics. If you want to go, just go and search on it and read it. It gives a lot of economic foundations to the problem we are addressing now. So as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry to say, let us focus on the right thing. Let us not be in a hurry to endorse and start running with narratives. Let's take time, because you might go with that Okiya and discover in the end he is not a viable candidate. I don't want to talk about anything against anybody. I've just said, do your proper due diligence. And just a highlight and ask questions. Those people making noise, Okiya has done those great things in court. I was in the finance bill 2023. I can give you evidence that Okiya's petition never won those cases. It is my petition at Linda Jami. If you read the ruling, it's clear. Okiya goes to court for cases he's going to lose and he knows. And when you ask to do anything with him, he doesn't want. Remember the ruling that went to the court to the Supreme Court. We were to file the petition, and because he was lead file, he was just taking us on the end. He filed the case too late. The ruling was that this is filed too late. So, gentlemen, let's not rush. I don't want to go into talking about anybody because I'm a leader. I've just asked you, do proper due diligence before you jump. We make bad decisions in marriage, in job search, and the rest. We should not try to uproot Ruto, which is a very risky affair. It's a very risky and delicate affair. And replace him with someone we might complain. I'm not saying it's Okiya Omtatah, I just say anybody, whether you are talking about MCA, senator, governor, MP, do proper due diligence before you go and say, this is our guy.